cases the U.S. government against Ryan Wesley Routh. He was very politically involved, was on the property where Trump was golfing, appeared to have been camped out there. Some reports say about 12 hours. The agent fired his or her service weapon in the direction of the rifle. He's a convicted felon. His rights have not been restored, and so he cannot have a firearm. In the Southern District of Florida federal court, cases the U.S. government against Ryan Wesley Routh. So here's the criminal complaint. Submitted by Mark A. Thomas, signed off on by the prosecutor and acknowledged by the judge. Sworn and signed before me via FaceTime, saying this charge is based on probable cause after a thorough investigation by the FBI. Judge accepted. So they say, I, the complainant in this case, state that the following is true. To the best of my knowledge and belief, that on September 15th in Palm Beach County, Southern District of Florida, this individual, Ryan Wesley Routh, committed two crimes. One, violation 18 U.S. Code 922G, firearms violation, prohibited possessor. He's a convicted felon, should not have had a firearm on him. And he was also in possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number, so filed it off or something. Now, these are very common charges, by the way. Happens all the time. I would say this one is less common, this obliterated serial number thing. That's kind of, all right, what are you trying to do with that? Like, did the CIA give it to you? Do you think you're Jason Bourne or something? So we didn't see that, I don't believe, unless that's come up. So that certainly begs the question, what happened here? Where did it come from? Where did he get it? He is, of course, a prohibited possessor, so he's not going into a firearm store and buying it. So he's, buying it off the street or something, buying it from someone, third hand who doesn't want it tracked. But it's not, let's say, as common as this charge. Now, this charge is a lot more common. This is just anybody who's a felon who is in possession of a firearm. I've represented clients in the past who were driving somebody else's car, got pulled over, they find a shotgun in the trunk, boom, that person driving the car is a prohibited possessor. It's something like that, right? And the person didn't have any violent felonies or anything like that, but just, you're in proximity, you're in dominion or control over that firearm, it's in the back of your trunk, and so now that's it. And you might say, okay, well, it's a criminal charge, it's a felony, and you arrest that person for that. It's not something to scoff at, right? You're a felon, you don't have firearms as part of the law. But that's a little bit different, right? Having somebody just have a gun in the back, or maybe be in possession of a firearm because they want to go hunting or something. But that's not this, right? This is not, I don't think that Ryan Routh was looking for the gun range or something like that. I mean, he could have been confused. Big open range. Was this the gun range? Golf club, gun range? Golf club, gun range? Very confusing. I don't think so. I don't think he was out there hunting elk in the middle of the beach of Florida or something. Is it elk season in Florida there? I don't think so. So it's a little bit more than just that. It's a little bit more than just being in possession of a firearm, which is very basic, minor. You can get it for just being in simple possession and being a felon. It's like not complicated. We also have a lot of additional things that are concerning here, like the fact that he was very politically involved, was on the property where Trump was golfing, appeared to have been camped out there. Some reports say about 12 hours. We're going to see what this complaint says. But my expectation is there'll be a lot more coming soon. Now, here is the FBI special agent. He says, all right, dear courts and dear prosecutor, says, I am now sworn, I hereby state the following. I am employed as a special agent with the FBI. I have been employed there for about 20 years. In my duties as a special agent, I am assigned to the Miami field office, FBI location, West Palm Beach resident agency. I am currently assigned to the Joint Terrorism Task Force. Now, as a special agent, I'm authorized by law or by government agency to engage in or supervise the prevention, detention, investigation, and violation of federal law. Now, I make this affidavit in support of this criminal complaint, charging what Ryan Wesley Routh with possession of a firearm as a felon and one in possession with a obliterated serial number, saying the facts contained in this affidavit come from my personal knowledge. It doesn't contain all the facts, but only the things necessary to establish probable cause. So here's the detail. Now, on September 15th, former President Trump was golfing at his golf club located at this address in West Palm Beach, Florida. And now at approximately 1:31 p.m., a United States Secret Service special agent assigned to Trump's security detail was walking the perimeter of Trump International when the Secret Service agent saw what appeared to be a rifle poking out of the tree line. It's like, wow, that's pretty good eyesight. For as much as we've been ripping on the Secret Service here lately, it's pretty good. What is that thing over there? Is that a gun? The agent fired his or her service weapon in the direction of the rifle. I don't know what the hell that is, but we're not doing Butler again. It was just start popping off. Right now, again, compare and contrast that with Butler. They were like, I think, is that a gun? Or is that a violin? I don't know. Maybe he's going to serenade Trump up there. Is that a trombone? Could be a rifle. I don't know. It's making loud noises and people are dying, so I don't think it's a trombone, but maybe it could be. But it's not. It's a gun, then they return fire. Okay, not happening here, right? Think about the difference in urgency of what's happening here. I think that's a gun. It might be a pipe, could be a branch, could be, I don't know. Just shoot it first. Cool, let's do it. A witness saw a male, later identified as Routh, fleeing the area of the tree line, entering a Nissan Sport utility vehicle. So it was an SUV, a Nissan SUV. The witness then observed the Nissan leave the area at a high rate of speed. And because he just dropped everything. Now, in the area of the tree line from which Routh fled, agents went upon the area, found a digital camera, looks like the GoPro, probably right there, looks like a GoPro. 2 bags, you see there, including a backpack, a loaded SKS-style rifle, 7.62 caliber rifle with the scope, and a black plastic bag containing food. The serial number on the SKS-style rifle was obliterated, unreadable to the naked eye. Now, based upon my training and experience, I am aware that the 7.62 caliber rifles are not manufactured in the state of Florida here. Therefore, I submit that there is probable cause to believe that this rifle, which was seized from the tree line at Trump International, have previously traveled in interstate or foreign commerce. Now, the SKS-style rifle and other items recovered at the scene are depicted in the image above. Seen right there, so you can see the rifle. It looks like the silhouette right there. A color photo would be nice, but there's the rifle. Looks like there is a scope on it. Other bags. This morning we were looking at a color photo via Fox News, and some people were also wondering if there was armor plates maybe in these bags, if that's why they were set up like that, right? So maybe he could put the rifle right through those two and then be protected against return fire as he was filming the whole thing. So we'll see. Now, therefore, I submit there's probable cause to believe that the rifle, which was seized from the tree line, may have traveled in interstate commerce. Now, officers from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office and Martin County Sheriff's Office located the Nissan as it traveled north on the I-95. At 2:14, so about 45 minutes later, we believe, is all it was, because it was about 1:31 when they saw him. And so about 45 minutes later at 2:14, MCSO initiated a motor vehicle stop. Now, the driver and the sole occupant of the Nissan was Routh. Shortly after the motor vehicle stop, Routh asked if he knew why he was being stopped. He responded in the affirmative, yes. Officers noted that the license plate attached to the Nissan is not his at all. It's registered to a white Ford truck from 2012 and has been reported stolen. So a fake license plate, another crime. But his license had been suspended many times. Now, during the course of the motor vehicle stop, law enforcement transported to the scene the witness who had previously observed Routh fleeing the area of the Trump International tree line and entering the Nissan SUV. The witness identified Routh as the same individual that he or she had previously seen entering the Nissan. So we would really like to know who this person is and how this person was so observant, what position they were in to see all of this. Like, was this a highly trafficked area? Was this fence an area where he could just pop into and other people were walking by and this guy pops out of the bushes? What the hell's he doing running there? Who is that guy? Because they're just walking their dogs? Or is he really deep embedded in the shrubbery, like in the jungle? During their investigation, law enforcement also discovered a publicly viewable Facebook post from on or about July 10th, in which Routh directed his followers to contact him on an instant messaging application called WhatsApp at the following number detailed here. Now, database checks indicate that a mobile phone number assigned with that number is serviced by T-Mobile and that Routh is a subscriber to them. Now, agents requested T-Mobile on an emergency basis to provide law enforcement with information pertaining to the mobile phone usage. Those records indicate that Routh's mobile phone was located in the vicinity of the area along the tree line described above from approximately 1:59 in the morning, showing up bright and early, 2 in the morning, until 1:31 p.m. Okay, so he's there for a full 12 hours. Shows up in the morning, leaves in the afternoon, fleeing the cops. Why he brought that food. Now, a review of law enforcement indices reflected that on or about December 20th, 2002, Routh was convicted in Greensboro, North Carolina. He had a possession of weapon of mass death and destruction, and it was a Class F felony. He could be punished in North Carolina for up to 59 months. But law enforcement indices indicated further that, so they search him up in the databases and they say, where are his other criminal records? He was also convicted of multiple counts of possession of stolen goods in North Carolina. Those are also punishable by up to 39 months in prison. And so based on the fact that he's got multiple counts of stolen goods and a WMD violation and convictions, right? So those are sticking. he's a convicted felon. His rights have not been restored, and so he cannot have a firearm. So it's very basic. You can see there's almost nothing even in here about wanting to shoot Trump or shoot the president. It's just a simple possession case, really, is how they're charging it. Now, the president's security detail, right, obviously found this guy, but that's about, the extent of it. The rifle was poking out of the tree line. Not that he was lying in wait for Trump or anything like that, right? On the basis of the foregoing, we can say it's very simple. It's just possession of a firearm and ammunition and possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. All this signed and sworn to the judge via FaceTime. Judge signed off on it, and they make a recommendation. So the U.S. Attorney, Mark Dispoto, he says that they need pretrial detention on this, so do not let this guy go and hold him in custody. The judge has done that. So you add up the charges here, max penalty, 15 years, 5 years, 20 years is what they're submitting, and that is the document, the criminal complaint that is now being filed against him.